My name is Michelle Carlson, and I am a college instructor. I teach English. The year I went vegan was 2008.
Cool. And what made you do that?
Well, most of my life I've been a carnivore, so I grew up on a lot of, just eating a lot of meat. It was main meal in my meals in my life. And then just kind of as I got older, 2008, when my daughter was born, I was reading a lot and hearing a lot about the unethical treatment of animals. And I also physically wasn't feeling great. And so I started exploring the idea of becoming a vegan. And just sort of leapt into that, and I started feling better. And
Now, how did you even know that was an option, though?
I was into yoga a lot at that time. I was spending a lot of time practicing yoga, and I knew a lot of yogis that were vegan. And I wanted to, begin exploring that, and decided to try a vegan diet and see if I could help me feel better, but also my heart felt like I couldn't support what was going on in the animal agriculture community. Yeah, began to explore becoming a vegan.
So you did this in 2008, the same year your daughter was born.
Yes. So.
And did you raise her vegan?
I did. I raised my daughter vegan. So the year my daughter was born, both my husband and I decided that we wanted to become vegan. I had been practicing yoga a lot and was becoming very familiar with the lifestyle and living the lifestyle. And I had, all these, feelings going on inside, just, about, not wanting to participate in what was going on with the unethical treatment of animals, and then also, just how I was feeling physically as well. And that was around the time my daughter was born. So my husband and I began to transition towards that lifestyle. So we didn't necessarily just one day, change our diet. I mean, mentally, we had made that decision, but we started to transition our lifestyle and our diet towards that.
Yeah, so maybe it took a year or so?
Took about a year. Yeah. Some things went right away. Mm-hmm. And then there were a couple things that, we had to transition out of that took a little bit longer.
Yeah. And then your daughter, she's been vegan the whole time?
Yeah, my daughter has been vegan, and she's 15 now. And so, we have to kind of let her go on her journey with that.
Did you ever talk to her about the ethics, or?
Of course, yeah. She knows all about the ethics, and we share with her as much as we can about what's behind all that, and with how animals are treated, especially in the dairy industry, and the suffering of animals, and what we can to inform her.
Yeah. It is tough, especially if you weren't doing it for a long time before they're born. I think it's a little easier if you've been doing it a long time before they're born. But you were in a learning phase that first year.
Yes.
And there's such a huge learning curve to this.
Oh, absolutely. To become vegan overnight is very difficult. I mean, you literally have to learn a whole new way of eating, and to do it healthy. I mean, sure, you can find lots of vegan options and a lot of vegan foods on the markets today, but to do it healthy, you have to, it takes a little bit of work, I guess, to get there, because you got to learn how do I prep tofu? How do I, how do I put these foods together to be nutritionally optimal?
Yeah. It's funny because it feels like there's this huge learning curve, and here I am. I've been vegan since 2011, and I'm still learning new things.
Yeah.
But the more I learn, the more simple it gets at the same time.
Right. Yeah, and I think too what's so great now versus when I went vegan in 2008 is we just didn't have the options then that we have now. So there wasn't all the plant milks, There was tofu, but it was harder to find. We don't have all these, other, meat alternatives and vegan cheeses, that are available now. So you had to be a little bit more skillful.
Yeah, but none of those things are necessary.
No, but it's varieties. Variety is really nice. But plants have, all the protein.
Especially if you're used to eating meat, eggs, and dairy, it's nice to have some analog, right?
It is. I think it makes the transition easier for a lot of people. That's a good sort of transition point, but being able to also include things like tofu and beans and tempeh and seitan and things like that are really great because they have a lot of nutritional value to them in addition to those things.
What's a typical day of eating look like now?
In training, which I'm training a lot, so when I'm kind of in training mode and things are, a little tighter, and I think also depends on where I'm at, if I'm sort of in maintenance or a surplus. Usually there's probably 4 to 5 meals a day. Most meals include some sort of, rice and a main protein, plenty of fats and lots of vegetables.
So
lots of vegetables.
When you say protein and fats, what is that when you're talking about food? Like what kind of foods?
For protein, I eat a lot of tempeh and I eat a lot of tofu. I eat a lot of seitan. Generally always have those in my meals, but I can build a meal out of just beans and rice and vegetables, things like that, and get a good amount of protein. Any of those combinations are generally what I will have most of the time with my meals, for my meals.
I guess it's probably a good idea to throw out there that plants have all protein.
Plants have all the protein you need.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not just tempeh or soy-based products, right? I mean,
no.
but those are just higher. And as an athlete,
yes.
You're trying to get a
little bit more.
Yeah, it's just not necessary for most people, right?
No, I would say yes. No, that's a great point. So I think that, for me, my protein needs a bit higher. To make sure I hit that, I will be sure to include things like tempeh and tofu and things like that. But for somebody who's, not doing what I'm doing, somebody just, lifts regularly, is not necessarily, a competitive athlete, you can get everything you need from some beans, greens, rice, seeds are great, things like that. Seeds are awesome for some protein.
Hemp seeds,
really... chia seeds are awesome. Tempeh is really great for high protein. You can get high protein tofu. Quinoa is a really good protein source. And seitan,
Could you be with somebody who's not vegan now?
Well, I've been married to my husband for 20 years, and he's vegan. We went vegan together. If my husband decided to not be vegan, it would be a challenge. Yeah. But I love my husband, so we'd figure out a way to make it work. But I don't have to worry about that with him. He's a hardcore vegan. so.
Is he an athlete too?
No, he's not. And so thank goodness that we don't have 2 athletes in the family. So I couldn't do what I do if my husband was trying to do it too, because we have our 15-year-old daughter and we have dogs, and I'm there a lot, but I definitely wouldn't be able to do what I do if I didn't have the support of my husband.
And what is it you do exactly?
Well, I'm a competitive powerlifter.
Yeah. Did you take away any medals?
I had 2 goals. In terms of medaling in my competition, one was getting the bench press at 159.8, which is 159.8 pounds, and then which was a record, and then hitting the deadlift record, which was set for 281. I pulled 303 pounds. Cool. So those were the 2 records I hoped to achieve, and I got those.
And are there any other proud moments you want to share with us, or accomplishments that you've
just being invited to come to this event and asked to be on the Vegan Strong Plant Built powerlifting team was a huge, achievement and accomplishment. I started powerlifting, I think in 2018, and I didn't imagine I would be here, and so that is pretty cool. And so just being part of this whole thing has been, for me, is just a huge achievement and accomplishment, in addition to the, what I was able to get done out there and coming out and being able to be part of this event with all these other vegans, amazing vegans doing amazing things in their sports.
Yeah. And where is here?
Atlantic City.
Yeah. At
the Atlantic City Convention Center for the Mr. America. Yes, it's awesome.
How often do you cheat, like eat dairy or
egg? Do I cheat?
Yeah, how often do you let a little dairy in there?
Well, I don't cheat with dairy. so
Anything?
so no.
And how many ailments have you acquired from going vegan?
How many ailments?
Yeah, like diseases or...
Oh no. Am I protein deficient? No. No, I'm not protein deficient, and I haven't, developed any, problems or sicknesses from going vegan. I eat a very, well-rounded health. I have a very well-rounded, healthy diet as a vegan.
What kind of physiological, mental, or emotional changes did you experience after going vegan?
Oh, well, I would say the biggest one is just, a more heightened sensitivity towards, it's already very sensitive towards, animals. And that just became even more heightened when I became vegan. It's very difficult for me to see or watch anything that, involves the suffering of animals. And so I think that piece was like, hands down, one of the main reasons I went vegan, but that is even amplified even more. So for me, so I'd say that's
any physical changes?
No, I don't. I don't think just in terms of my health, I think that I am able to maintain a healthier weight. My blood sugar is better. As an athlete, I don't have diabetes. I'm not diabetic or anything, but I do watch my blood sugar because I'm an older athlete, and for powerlifting, I have to eat a lot of food to support that. So I keep a finger on my blood sugar, and I think being vegan is very helpful. Has been very helpful for me in managing that.
You think we'll see a vegan world?
A vegan world?
Yeah.
Well, I think I would love that. I think it's a great goal for, and I think the more we see veganism
Normalized.
evolve and become normalized, and as the food industry continues to catch up and products become better, I think we'll be seeing actually a lot more people trending in that direction, and hopefully even people who are a little bit more resistant. I feel like if we can at least get those people who have a harder time, to get them, at least trying to become, including more vegan foods and lifestyle changes that trend in that direction, I think that would be awesome.
And the most important reasons for people to go vegan are?
For me, I think, it's really important to become vegan for the animals, is my big belief. The suffering of animals is weighs heavily on my heart. And then, I think health-wise, by going vegan, you can not only help minimize and reduce the suffering of animals, but you can also be healthy on a vegan diet because plants have all the protein you need.
Yeah. Do you have like a social media profile or anything out there that we can follow you?
Michelle Carlson _ plant-based coach. You can find me there.
And that's is it more for athletes or?
It's generally designated. I focus a lot on athletes, but I can do general.
Do you have like certain certifications? Or?
I have a certification in nutrition, and I am actually in the process of working towards getting my registered dietitian degree.
When you say certified in nutrition, is it like eCornell or what is it?
Oh no, it's through NASM. It's a
NASM
nutrition certification.
So it's like a national
certification. Yes, it's called NASM, NASM.
You have a quote you want to share or any last minute encouraging words?
Plants have all the protein you need.